Callum McGregor says that Celtic's talking was done on the park this week. Rangers have no class at all as they sneaked up the tunnel after the game. I'm sure you all seen that. Celtic manager talks about Starfelt and Carter Vickers and says how they've got one of the hardest jobs at Celtic. Kris Commons says we're ready for a decade of dominance. And I'll give you the speech that Ange gave after the game yesterday. That's all in today's Celtic FC News from the One Celtic Fans View channel. How was about that yesterday? What an amazing game. What a day it was. We were in control basically for 60 minutes of the game. We let them into it slightly. Got to say the first half was pretty much dominant. We were dominant for the first 10-15 minutes of the second half, and then we let them back into it after we scored our second goal. We kind of stopped running about as much. We let them back into the game. They did score a goal, which really, if Aaron Moy had stuck the head onto that ball, it would never have got through to the fat boy. And he went off the park kicking and screaming as he always does, but Celtic came out champions once again. And Callum McGregor went on to say, he said he was very humble in victory, and he said that Celtic do their talking on the park. And that leads to the Stevco and the Stevco manager, who did nothing but talk about Celtic all week, and even had Stevco players calling us the other team. Well, the other team came out in pure dominance and showed what they're made of on the park. There's actually no class from the Stevco side at all, due to the fact that they sneaked up, they went up and got their losers medals once again whilst playing Celtic, and then they sneaked up the tunnel. And I don't think I've ever seen that at Hampden. Usually when a team loses, they'll still stick around to see the winners go up and get their medals and at least give them an applause. Michael Beale took his team at full time and got them into a little huddle, and it was a bit like schoolboys crying, and they disappeared up the tunnel, but that's enough about them. The Celtic manager went on to talk about Carl Starfelt and Cammy Carter Vickers. He said they've both got a really difficult role. People don't understand. He says they see us dominate game and think that they've got us easy, but sometimes they've got the hardest job because we leave them defending one-on-one. That was straight from the Celtic manager's mouth after the game yesterday. And I've got to say, if it wasn't for Carter Vickers, he put in a cracking few stops yesterday. Starfelt obviously took to Instagram after the game and says, "Cheers to another one." Talking about another one, Kris Commons is saying that basically he predicts another decade of dominance after an emphatic display over the Stevco at this game yesterday. I think when you see the game we're bringing in, and we never thought it would happen so quick, let's be honest. I said after we lost the 10 in a row one, that was always going to be the hardest one to win, in my opinion. But the fact that Celtic have bounced back so strong and got Ange Postecoglou, and he's made massive differences to the club. And when you see him yesterday after the game, you know, banging his chest, grabbing the badge, being and one with the fact he loves it here. He's not going anywhere. You're not going to go to a club down south like what Brendan Rodgers did, and you're not going to go down south and just for more money and to supposedly play in a better league. It's just not going to happen. This guy loves what Celtic bring to him, loves what Celtic fans bring, and you know, just keeping on winning for the next 2 or 3 years will keep this man more than happy. And it's all going to be about what we can achieve in the Champions League going forward, if you ask me. And talking about Ange Postecoglou, he said yesterday after the game, "We hope that you're enjoying this evening, celebrating another great achievement by everyone at the club. We are delighted to have secured the 21st League Cup victory in front of so many fans, so many of our supporters at Hampden, with millions watching around the world." And there was that. I mean, I know guys that were down in Australia that were watching the game last night at 2 o'clock in the morning. These occasions are very special. I'm so proud of this talented group of players, coaches and backroom staff who once again rose to the occasion to deliver success for our supporters such as yourself. Together they put in another strong team performance with an incredible support once again drove us to victory. It is another great achievement for this team, and it's one we should all celebrate together. Securing the first piece of silverware domestically for this season is very satisfying, he went on to say, and of course we have further challenges to come which lie ahead of us basically, I'm just that excited this morning, to achieve our objectives. The Celtic manager went on to say they know what they are after this season. Can we start talking about a treble? Is it too early to start talking? Is it disrespectful to the rest of Scottish football for Celtic to talk about another treble? Can you even think about it? We're that close so far. The Celtic manager went on to say, on days like this, although throughout the season your support means everything, enjoy your evening as we celebrate another well earned success. Thank you once again, Andrew Postecoglou. It's just a fantastic day to be a Celtic supporter. It's a fantastic day to be a Celtic fan once again. We see them sneaking about into work this morning. It's awfully quiet for that end of the city. It's pretty quiet in your workplace, I bet you. We might do a live tonight at 7:30 UK time, so look out for that. I'll probably put it up in the community tab if I'm going to go live. And that note, have a fantastic day, Celtic fans.
Lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the